Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome to All Things Data, where we explore the power of data science, analytics, and beyond. Guys, welcome to our very first episode of the basics in Python. And today we are looking into the variables. What we're gonna learn into this episode, we're gonna learn what variables are, how we declare them, and how we assign values to variables. And also we're going to look into the different data types in Python and how we concatenate strings in Python. All right, so yeah, that's what's basically going to be happening. And please do subscribe, do like, do comment, just to help us grow our community. And yeah, that will be all. So let's not waste much more time and get started. Welcome once again. We are starting with the basics of Python, or the basics on Python rather. And yeah, hence I said that we are looking at variables. So I'm just going to be taking you through variables in Python. It's not going to be a long notebook and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. Let's get started, guys. So number one, we are looking at what is a variable. All right. So a variable is a name that represents a value. Okay. So it acts as a reference or a label for data in your code. And also, a variable stores data in the computer's memory. And using the variable name allows you to access that data whenever you need it. All right. So let's just take a look at this example that I'm going to give you here. That will explain what a variable is and what a value is. Okay. So let's just look at the variable x and the variable name. Okay. So here you can see that we have x, the variable that holds the number 5, okay? And name is also a variable that holds the text Alice. All right, so yeah, that's how you have your variables and your values. All right, so you have a variable that you named as an x, and you also have a variable that you named as a name. All right, so you can go around and play with more variable names to see how you assign them. All right, so yeah. And another thing, let me let you know, guys, that if you do not have Visual Studio Code, you can use Jupyter Notebooks. And if you do not have Jupyter Notebooks, also you can use Google Colab. So with Google Colab, you just go to your Google Chrome and type in Google Colab, and then you follow the instructions there, and it will take you to a notebook, and you can start working there. All right. So yeah, let's move along and go to the second point, which is assigning values to variables. So we assign values to variables with equals to. So equals to is the assignment operator. That's how you assign your values to variables. All right. So I want us to look at this. We have age, which equals to 25. All right. So that means the variable age is assigned a value of 25. Okay. And then now we also have height. Height is assigned the value of 5.9, and a student is assigned the value of 2. Okay. So that is how we assign our values to variables. Just like even in the other example, the previous example where I showed you that we said x equals 5. Okay, that's how you assign the value to your variables. All right. So here I also want to introduce you guys to the print statement, just to show what we get when we have assigned values to variables. Like, what is it that we get after? I want you to guys to also play along with these things in your practice as you go further practicing variables. I want you guys to explore, to look at more other ways of doing this. All right. All right. Now let's run this and see what it gives us. Okay. So here you can see that for age we had the value of 25. So when you print age, it gives you 25. And then when you print height, it gives you the value that you have on height. And then when you print a student, it also gives you the value that you have assigned to a student, which is a Boolean true, right? And then here you can see that age holds an integer, height holds a float, and student holds a Boolean. And I am coming to these things, what they mean, as we are going further with our learning. All right. Now, the number 3 thing that I want us to learn in the basics of Python on variables is the rules for naming variables. We do not name our variables anyhow we want to name them, okay? We do not do that. Let's look at the other basic rules that we can look at. Number 1, start with a letter or an underscore, but not a number. Never ever start your variable with a number, okay? Number 2, variables can only contain letters, numbers, and underscores. They can contain those things, but just do not start with a number. Okay. So yeah. And the third one, variable names are case sensitive. So by case sensitive, I mean that name with a small letter N is not the same as name with a capital letter N. As you can see that it's so case sensitive. So score with a small letter S is not the same as score with capital letter score. All right. So yeah, let's look at the examples that we have for our basic rules of naming variables. Valid name is John, and this is the perfect way of naming a variable. And height 2. Let's say maybe you have height 1 and you just want to have height number 2, and you say height number 2 is 5.9. Then here you can just say height 2. This is the perfect way of doing it. All right. So I just want to show you again. Invalid variable names. Invalid variable names are these ones here. These ones here. You see these ones. True name equals to Jane. You cannot start with a number. All right. And we have my name equals to Tom. All right. And this hyphen here, we do not need it. We do not need it. Okay. You cannot do that as a variable. You cannot have that as a variable. So these are wrong ways of naming your variables. Okay. So yeah, make sure that you are aware of these type of things as well. All right. So yeah, I think we are done with rules for naming our variables. Now let's move along to the fourth one, which is data types in variables. I have mentioned a few data types earlier on in number 2. So now I want us to check them out. So here we are looking and explaining at different data types. So we have got an integer, we've got a float, and we've got a string, and lastly we've got a boolean as data types. So an integer is a whole number. It represents whole numbers in Python. We are looking at example, the number 10, the number -3, the number 5, okay, number 25. Those are whole numbers. That's what an integer represents in Python. And looking at the second one, we are looking at a float, and a float is just represents decimal numbers. Okay, so we can see here by the example that I gave you guys that we've got 5.7, and also even negative numbers, as long as they've got commas and the decimal, they also falls under float. All right, and then the other one we have got string. String represent text. Hello Python, your name, my name, things like that. All right. So, and boolean, with boolean, we are looking at true or false. And that's just it. The example is still true or false. And as we go deeper in expanding our knowledge of the basics in Python, we will further look at true and false and just expand it further. All right. So yeah, here I've given you the examples of our data types. Like I have assigned our variables to data types. All right. So we have for age we have 21, for price we have 1999, and for name we have Sarah, and it's online we have Steve. Okay. So now this is how you're gonna get to check your data types. All right. We check our data types by using the type function in Python, right? So we have print type here, that's that function, okay? Now you are wanting to know the age, the type, the data type of the value that you have assigned to the variable of age, okay? So yeah, let me go ahead and just run this. Please play along and just go and print type name and see the data type, what it shows. Here I want you to see that it shows that it's of the class of integer. Here it's of the class of float. Okay, so when you print out name and it's online, it should show you that your data type go or belong to the classes of string and boolean. Okay, so yeah, I think we are done with that, and let's look at number 5, updating variable values. So we can always change our variable values in Python. Okay. So here the first value that we assigned to our variable of score, we said it's 10. Now when we update the score, we come again and we say score equals score, which is the 10 plus the 5. And now our score has to be 15. All right, let's just look at that. Let's just look at that. Let me add another code cell here and print score. Okay. Let's print score and just check out what we got. Okay. It said score plus 5, which is 10 plus 5, which gave us a 50. All right. So that is what we have got. And then now we are going to the other one, which is using variables in expressions. So we can use them even in arithmetic expressions where we using mathematical stuff like that, where you are assigning A to 5 and assigning 3 to B, things like that. And then you come again and you say sum. I want you guys to go ahead and do the print and just say print sum. Like you run your cell, then after running your cell, you can just go ahead and do print. You can also do a print below the sum. Just say print sum and see what it gives you. Okay, it should give you a sum of 8. Okay, so yeah, now looking at the last one, which I have got for you, is concatenations for strings in Python. So basically, I could call it adding our strings together. Okay, we are adding one string and another string and adding them together. We call that concatenation for strings in Python. So here with the example that I gave you, let's say we have got the first name. The first name of this person is John, okay? And their last name is Joe. Is it Joe? Joe. I don't know how to name this, but yeah. And then full name, we say equals to first name, space. These things here, they represent the space in between, okay? And last name, then we say the last name is John. Joe, okay? Let me just run this and then have another one. So I want to print out the full name, okay? I need to print out the full name and just see what it gives us. So here you have John, space, and the last name. So that is what concatenation does in Python. Okay, so yeah, I think I am done with variables in Python, and you will catch me on the next one. Please, guys, go through this tutorial over and over again. Practice as you watch this video, and once you are done practicing while you're watching the video, try to do it alone without watching the video until these things get into your head. All right. So yeah. Go ahead. Remember that if you do not have Visual Studio Code, you can use Google Colab or Jupyter Notebooks. All right. So yeah, I am done here with our variables. Okay, so yeah.
We have come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching until this far. I hope you enjoyed, and most importantly guys, I believe that we have learned so much. In today's video, what we did was to understand variables, how we assign them, and different data types, and concatenation. All right, in concatenating strings in Python. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So yeah, guys, please do subscribe, do like, do comment to help us grow our community so we can be able to reach even other people who want to get into the field of programming but do not know how to get started. All right, so yeah, that will be all from me guys. Catch me next week on another episode of the basics in Python. These are going to help you when you go into boot camps or if you are preparing for your boot camps. All right, so yeah, do stay here, do subscribe for more content. Okay, so yeah, that will be all from me. Bye.